Oregon U.S. Senior Senator Ron Wyden back in the state for the summer recess and for a series of town halls this weekend. We've heard a lot from the senator over the last couple of weeks concerning the Epstein files. The late Jeffrey Epstein, the wealthy sex trafficker who had powerful friends, including at one time the president. Senator Wyden, welcome back to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thanks for having me back, Ken.
Well, Jeffrey Epstein apparently committed suicide in prison 6 years ago, so why do we care now?
It really is a representation of a rigged system. You know, sex trafficking is one of the most horrendous offenses. And when you can have all this big money, and we caught something like 4,700 wire transfers, hundreds of millions of dollars, moving women and underage girls for the pleasure of these horrible people that were making these purchases. You just say to yourself, how did it happen? And my sense is there were banks that were looking the wrong way. He had some henchmen, my investigators found, and this is very troubling. And as far as I'm concerned, it's time to stay at it until all the facts come out. And it's not a blue or red matter, and my investigators have been looking at it a long time.
Do you think that the president might be in those files?
That's not how I'm going to continue our investigation. As you know, the Attorney General has already indicated that he's been mentioned. I'm just going to make sure that the facts get out. And if, for example, there is somebody's privacy, you have something called a redaction, and you protect those people. But other than that, the facts have got to come out.
You're the ranking Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee, and this is what you said on July 17th regarding money in Epstein. Let's take a listen.
There is an Epstein file down there at the Treasury Department, and it ought to be used as the foundation for a follow the money investigation.
Now, what have we learned so far, and where do you think this investigation could lead?
Well, what we know, Ken, is the way to do an investigation properly in an objective way is to follow the money. And that's what my investigators have done. And you can't, in effect, be out there spending hundreds of millions of dollars and having money go through, Russian-sanctioned banks unless you have been involved in some of these major transactions, and we think some of them look pretty dirty.
Obviously, the president doesn't think much of all this. Here's what he said about it.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
Is this just a partisan hoax?
First of all, I've been involved in this for 3 years. We went to the Biden administration, asked to see the information. We talked to Republicans on the committee in hopes that they would cooperate with us. We've done this consistently in a way that involves both sides at every step of the way.
President Trump has directed Attorney General Pam Bondi to work on releasing grand jury transcripts from the Epstein case. A judge in Florida has already blocked that. Meanwhile, over in the House, Speaker Mike Johnson called summer recess early, many say to avoid any potential votes concerning Epstein. And here's what he said.
There's no purpose for Congress to push an administration to do something that they're already doing. And so this is for political games.
He says this is a political game. What's your response?
Well, they have said that there's nothing there, and I said, take a look at those 4,700 wire transfers. You don't have 4,700 wire transfers unless there's something that ought to be followed up on. It's ludicrous to say that there's no there with all those wire transfers, and that's just at one bank, and there are multiple banks.
Will you continue to pursue this, and is this going to be a strategy by the Democrats in order to maybe cast some aspersions upon this administration?
Ken, I'm going to stay at it until all the facts come out.
Let's talk about something else. President Trump just signed an executive order making it easier to relocate homeless people off the streets, and he says into rehabilitation and drug treatment facilities. What do you think about that?
Well, I gather that he said this last night. Don't know when the program is going to air, but I was on the plane coming to Oregon. I don't think Donald Trump is someone with any great expertise in terms of appropriate approaches for the homeless. What I can tell you is we have the DASH Act, the Decent, Affordable, Safe Housing legislation, which does take some constructive steps in terms of helping local communities deal with this issue, and we're going to continue to pursue that.
A couple of weeks ago, the president's border czar, Tom Homan, threatened to triple down on sanctuary cities in terms of immigrations and deportations. And he threatened to come to Portland. You invited him to one of your town halls. Have you heard from Tom Homan?
No, we haven't. And I just thought to myself, I've had more than 1,120 of these town hall meetings, open to all. You give a chance to everybody can weigh in and you get a good objective conversation. And I just heard him talking about it and I said, well, I'm just going to invite him and we'll see what he does.
What do you think about the crackdown on sanctuary cities? He's mentioned Portland a couple of times. The president obviously targets Portland as one of the places where he would like to see immigration and deportations continue. What are your thoughts about us as a state and us as a city being actually specifically targeted for these actions?
Well, I think often they make up their minds without all the facts. And what I have said is Americans were told most recently in the political campaign that the focus here would be on people who committed crimes, drug cartels, people who were related to terrorist activity. And now we're turning around and seeing kids and their parents getting scooped up without any due process. So that's why I think it's appropriate that if he does, come, he ought to have an opportunity to be heard with the people that I have the honor to represent.